Hey guys, so this is What If Deku had the Ultimatrix Part 3. Now last time, basically guys, my views are like really just going down. So if you guys know like what's going the big deal, but whatever. I have like a bunch of subscribers, but I have like minimum views. I don't see how that works out, but whatever. So basically guys, I'm gonna be doing all the what ifs I've put on my last list of what ifs on my community part of my channel. So basically just go in there. It's like, a list of what ifs I made, and that's what the what ifs I'm gonna be making. So basically, yeah, after I get done with that list, I'm just gonna be freestyling and making what ifs just randomly. So yeah. And mainly each what if will probably be like request videos I got a long time ago, or just videos that I wanna make. So yeah, I'm also gonna be getting back on track on my hero what ifs a lot more. And also I'm gonna be trying to finish all my short other not my hero accurate my hero what if. So I'm gonna try to make part 3s, 4s, 5s to all my what if my hero what ifs after I get done with my list of what ifs I have. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be making I'm gonna be freestyling what ifs after the list of what ifs I made. So yeah, this is one of the what ifs on the list. So this is what if Deku had the Ultimatrix Part 3. Now guys, basically last time Part 2 got about like 200 or 400 views, and please guys, hype this video up, please. And let's get into it guys. So basically this is what if Deku had the Ultimatrix. Now, last time I left off, Deku was, what was it? Deku, bumped into Mina, no, Mihatsume. Basically, the engineering pink girl in the, what was it? I think it was the support course. So yeah, so basically, Deku gave her number, gave her his number, or Deku gave her. They exchanged numbers, and basically Deku, went back to the penthouse with him and Jiro and Denki. Now they would go back, and then they would wake up the next day, going to UA the next day. They would have gone to UA, and last time Deku unlocked a couple new aliens. He unlocked a alien not from Benton, but from a different alien franchise, or different franchise of aliens, the Avatar. And I mainly just added the Avatar as a new alien because at that point I just, saw the whole time, sneak peeks or just the news about the Avatar 2 movie and all that other stuff. So yeah. So let's get into it, guys. So basically, Deku would be going to UA and he would walk into class 1A. Now, this would be the third day of UA. Now, Deku would have been, this would be the third day of UA. Now, basically, they would be waiting, and All Might would have shown up, basically telling the class that they're getting all the USJ, and they're basically going to be training. And basically, they are given, their outfits. They're put in their hero outfits, and basically, Deku gets into his hero costume and gets ready. So basically, they get started, and they get pretty much escorted to the bus, and they are driven to basically the USJ. They go in the USJ, and the way there, they talk about their quirks. Now, Deku doesn't really talk about his quirk, mainly not at all, and basically just keeps quiet. Where everybody else, talks about their quirks and blah, blah, blah. Now, basically, Deku is asked what his quirk is, and Deku gets the same, pretty much, explanation, or basically, lie that he gave his friends, that his friends already know, the Ultimatrix isn't, a quirk. But yeah, so basically Deku tells him that it's a quirk, and he can basically transform into creatures that he imagines, and he can use energy from his body to transform into those creatures. But the Omnitrix, or the watch thing, helps him channel the energy into transforming accurately. Now, basically at this point, Deku wouldn't know it yet, but Deku would have the randomizer function on the Ultimatrix on, but it would be slightly tampered with. So basically, Deku, by like one out of 10, Deku would transform into an alien he never meant to. Or Deku would just transform into an alien randomly. So it would just be randomly. He'll get aliens that he wants, or that he needs, or aliens that, he just doesn't need or he doesn't want. So basically, The Omnitrix would have a randomizer function, but the randomizer function would have been modified to only randomize creatures that would be completely, well, in pretty much, scientific terms, be completely suited for the mission or the fight Deku's going up against, or the environment he's in. So yeah, so basically Deku would get ready, and pretty much they would get off the bus, and they would get told by 13 the whole entire speech about quirks and everything. Now basically, last time Bakugo overheard the whole entire conversation between Deku telling, his friends Jiro and Denki about how the Ultimatrix isn't, a quirk. And Deku would know this. Now, basically, Bakugo would know this, and Deku wouldn't know that Bakugo knows the truth. Now, Bakugo would have tried to tell All Might, but All Might wasn't there. So basically, they would have, keep on listening to 13. Well, eventually, the League of Villains would show up. They would start to trade up just merc fools, or just try to attack the team, attack the school, or 1A. But they would get stopped because Aizawa would be holding them back and telling 13 to get the students out of here. 13 were about to leave, going near the exit door, trying to keep back all the other villains from chasing them, when pretty much the Shadow Court guy straight up just bodies 13 and pretty much teleports everybody else in their, other pretty much areas. Now, Deku would be teleported near the boat area with Froppy, and I'm pretty sure, I expelled that. So basically, he teleports there with Froppy and basically falls into the water, and Froppy isn't fast enough to catch him in this one. So Deku falls into the water, and basically multiple pretty much villains try to attack him. Deku looks at the Ultimatrix and presses down, hoping for Ripjaws or any type of other water animal, but is stuck with Heat Blast. Deku starts panicking, but just getting hotter and hotter, trying to, be able to be useful underwater. So he's just getting hotter and hotter, and he just starts grabbing villains, trying to burn them underwater. And he does succeed a little bit, kind of like boiling the water from a 6 feet distance in the water. So anything in the 6 foot range of Deku is in boiling water. So Deku starts swimming around, boiling the water around him, trying to get up. But over time, his heat starts getting pretty much, extinguished over time. But Deku's been underwater for about 10 minutes, and he's about to pretty much lose some of the heat and just make the water, temp warm. Or make it like, the warmness of water when you, pretty much turn up your water in the shower all the way up. The heat on your shower all the way up. So basically, Deku starts swimming upwards, trying to get help from Froppy. Froppy tries to touch Deku, but says that she can't really touch him since he's on fire, or can't, pull him in. So pretty much, Froppy says to transform back. Basically, Deku looking around and just going to the ultimate function, trying to see if Heat Blast's ultimate form can do better. So basically, Deku transforms the Ultimatrix and transforms into Ultimate Heat Blast. Ultimate Heat Blast. And Ultimate Heat Blast is basically like original Heat Blast and looks just like Ben 10,000 Heat Blast, but it can switch to multiple different colors of flame, like green flame, purple flame, and multiple other flames. And all the flames have different functions, like blue flames can shoot out ice, or just incredibly, 10 times hotter than the sun type of fire. Or basically, his purple flames can burn pretty much ghosts or any type of spiritual beings, and his green flames can basically, warp the power of the Omnitrix, if the Omnitrix was ever to, go out of control and blow up or something like that. But yeah, so basically, all of his flames are different colors of the pretty much rainbow, and can give him multiple different pretty much capabilities. Now he transforms into his red flame form, or his normal flame form, like in this picture, and basically it gives him the ability to basically get as hot as the hottest thing in the literal universe, or hotter than any sun in the galaxy. So basically, he burns all the way, or nearly 1/5 of a mega powered star, and basically burns the whole entire water. He literally sets water on fire and burns it alive, basically making the pretty much pool area, just a dry drought. Basically, all the villains falling down to the ground and being burned because the water was, pretty much boiled away. However, the villains are in critical condition, having third-degree burns all over their bodies, and some of them are just knocked out or in critical condition. Now, the boat falls down to the bottom of the dry well Deku made with the whole entire thing, and another area, the water starts pouring back in because the pool was connected to another area. So the water starts, pouring back in, and the boat starts to kind of sink, but floating up a little bit. Now, Deku and Froppy get out there. Deku flying up, turning into green mode, basically him grabbing Froppy, and the green mode not being hot, but being able to control gamma radiation. Basically, the gamma radiation gives, pretty much the green form of ultimate heat blast gives Deku the ability to basically, control gamma radiation, and basically, control any type of gamma radiation, or basically can absorb any type of gamma radiation, including the Hulk's gamma radiation, meaning that he can just suck out all the energy from Hulk and pretty much cure Bruce Banner or something like that. So basically, Deku starts flying around and flies down, basically him not trying to use any of his gamma radiation powers because he can possibly give, Froppy a disease or something like that. So basically, Deku lands Froppy down and flies towards the pretty much villains when the Nomu shows up. The Nomu shows up and pretty much starts bodying fools. Nomu jumps up, basically, and the Nomu, when it showed up, it was already fighting All Might. And the whole entire fire thing Deku did, All Might and the pretty much Nomu were already fighting. Now Deku was pretty much smacked out the air by the Nomu after the Nomu got strong enough to kick All Might off of him for a couple minutes and pretty much started to full body down Deku because the Nomu was told by Shigaraki, because Shigaraki saw that Deku was so strong, seeing the whole entire water thing Deku did, and basically Deku was starting to get pummeled by the Nomu. Now Deku went back to his orange form or his base form with the sun manipulation and basically started to burn hotter and hotter, and eventually he disintegrated the whole Nomu in a matter of seconds, like literally just disintegrated it, and basically got back up looking at Shigaraki. Deku shoot a fireball, but not knowing how hard it is, the fireball starts melting the concrete as it passes by through the air, basically it burning the air. Wow, and basically started to pretty much fly straight towards Shigaraki. Now Shigaraki was saved because the portal guy, or the portal corp guy, made a portal traveling the fireball back into the water. Now basically Deku flew towards Shigaraki and basically threw another fireball, knowing how, it was just a normal heated fireball that normal heat blast would throw, and basically it hit Shigaraki, making a slight burn on his arm, but him falling down to the ground, and pretty much the quirk guy being occupied at this moment because he was getting jumped on by Kirishima and Bakugo. Now eventually the heroes would have showed up and tried to stop them. Now Shadow Quirk guy would see this and basically make a tactical retreat, grabbing Shigaraki and getting out there. Now Deku would have detransformed, basically looking around, and pretty much everybody being super surprised at what Deku did. And basically, Deku walking off and pretty much saying, "Are all you guys okay?" Basically helping up All Might. Now, All Might wouldn't really need Deku's help. He would just get back up. Pretty much All Might just being asked from Deku, "Are you okay?" Now, Deku wouldn't really, mean it, but he wanted to, look nice in front of everybody else. So basically, Deku, when he saw All Might getting up, he just walked immediately away, not saying anything else to All Might. Now, All Might would have tried to talk to Deku. Basically, All Might still being kind of regretful of not giving Deku, all for one, because he saw how strong Deku's quirk was. But Deku declined, saying, "I don't need no help from a blonde Boy Scout." Basically, saying you look like you're on steroids. Now, basically, just straight up just dogging on All Might for about 10 minutes, just roasting him, and everybody being shocked at this. Now, All Might would get kind of angry, but not trying to look menacing or pretty much scary in front of all the other students and mess up his reputation because other heroes were watching. He just shrugged it off, saying, "Whatever." And pretty much, still smiling, saying, kids these days have no respect, but basically trying to, not look too mean in front of everybody else. Now, Deku would have still, saw the anger behind Almond's eyes since he was so close towards him, and basically walked off, scoffing. Now, basically, Jiro and, Denki would have, known it because Deku would have told them about the whole time, All Might, laughing to Deku's face about how he can't be a hero without a quirk and all the other stuff. Now, Deku would have walked, towards his friends, basically saying, well, let's go. Now, actually, all of them would get medical attention. Deku not really being injured that much, just having a little bit of bruises because Deku was teleported very more higher down to the water, so he hit the water pretty hard. So basically, Deku and the rest of the class would have been, looked at medical professionals, and that's where we're going to be, skipping off there. Now, they would get sent back home, and everybody else would have been told, pretty much blah, blah, blah. Now, Deku would have went back home, basically, back to the, pretty much, penthouse with Denki and Jiro, and basically would have been in the living room. Now, basically, Deku would have been in his, in the living room penthouse thinking about, everything. And also thinking about how to use the Ultimatrix better. Now, basically, as he was thinking about this, Denki and Jiro would have walked into the room, asking Deku what's wrong. Because Deku looked pretty, weird when he thought, or when he was thinking. Now, Deku would have said, yeah, everything's fine, basically just, saying it. Now, basically, they would have asked, Deku, do you want to go out and basically, have fun? Now, basically, Deku would have said, yeah, why not? We have a couple days off anyways. So, basically, Deku and pretty much his squad or his friends got ready and left the penthouse. Deku would have walked down the street with his, friends in this type of outfit. But basically, Deku would have walked down and pretty much, be talking to his friends. And they would have bumped into somebody familiar. And they would have bumped into Bakugo. And Bakugo would have looked at Deku and would have looked back up, would have looked down Deku and his friends, saying, what a bunch of chumps. Basically walking past both of them with, Bakugo being friends with Mirio, and basically, just being out with Mirio because Mirio was introduced to Bakugo by All Might. Now, Mirio would have been confused about, the beef between, Bakugo and Deku, and basically would have asked, the new kid he's seeing, basically saying, what's that about? And basically, Mirio looking closer and recognizing Deku as the, the most, powerful kid other than Bakugo, debatably, in class, or in the Class 1A. He would have asked, you're the transforming kid, right? And Deku would have said, yeah, what's to you? Basically, Mirio making small talk with Deku, but Bakugo telling Mirio to hurry up. Basically, Mirio saying, well, see you later. Sorry for my friend, though. Basically, him walking after, Bakugo. Now, they would have walked by and pretty much Denki would have said, what a prick. Basically, thinking about, trying to fight Bakugo. But Deku saying it's not worth it. Now, basically, they would have walked off, going to the arcade, went to a restaurant, and all sorts of other stuff. Now, Deku, halfway before the night ended, or about 2 hours before the night, or midnight, 2 hours before, it got too late, Deku would get, tell, Denki and Jiro, you up for a double date? They would have been confused, and Deku would have said, yeah, sure, and Jiro would have said, that's not, fair, you didn't even ask me, but yeah, I'm sure, I'm cool with it. Now, Deku would have walked off, and basically would have called Mihatsume. Now, basically, she would have came over, and they would have had their first date. Now, basically, it would go normal. It would go perfect, actually, and Deku would have, had a pretty good date with, Mina. Now, Mihatsume, or me, basically, or Hatsume. I'm just gonna say Hatsume. So for Hatsume, now he, they got close and intimate, and basically, Deku was about, in the, middle, and not in the middle. Deku was, got a cab or whatever, and basically, drove to the penthouse. And Jiro and Denki were confused on where, Deku was, because they split off with Deku and Ashido, or Mina. Mean, and basically, we're at the arcade or just at a different place, hanging out. Now, basically, they would have called Deku, and Deku wouldn't pick up because he was busy. And basically, that's where, Deku would become, well, more of a, really serious thing me. With me. Now, basically, Jiro and Denki would have shown up to the penthouse, opening it up and just hearing noises. Now, basically, Denki would have chuckled and saying, "Let's come back later." Basically, walking away. Now, basically, the next couple of minutes later, about 30 minutes, Deku, no, it was 30 minutes, Jiro and Denki would have shown back up and basically, come back in the penthouse, seeing Deku, pretty much in his outfit that he wore before, they left the house, and Deku saying, "Are you guys, okay?" And saying you were out for a pretty long time. And Jiro saying, "We weren't out for that long." And Denki saying, "Yeah, and I'm sure you had enough exercise yourself." Pretty much patting Deku on the back, and Deku being kind of confused, but realizing that they probably came in earlier and just left and gave him more, privacy. Deku telling Denki thank you. Basically, Denki saying you don't have to, push it anymore. Basically, Denki stopping and saying, "No, please don't touch me. We don't even know where your hand's been." Basically, smacking Deku's hand off of him. Deku being kind of, put off by this, but, realizing, I wouldn't want anybody else touching me after they did the devil's tango. So, yeah, so basically, Deku and pretty much everybody else would, go to sleep that night, and I would leave it off here, guys. So, basically, guys, this is where I'm going to leave off part 3, and part 5 is going to come later on after I finish the list of what ifs I've made. So, yeah, guys, next what if I'm going to be uploading what if that Ben 10 was in the Young Justice TV show, or in Young Justice part 5, or yeah, part 5. So yeah, guys, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.